Hello everyone and welcome back to more spoopy time in the letter. We are back for more in this game, except this time we have finally finished off on Marianne's point of view in the last episode and are currently starting on Rebecca's point of view. So what happened in terms of finishing up with Marianne? Nothing much really except more filling in the blanks in terms of like timeline slots, like what happened during, what happened during certain events except on Marianne's and kind of thing. Again, nothing really much interesting going on in terms of like near the beginnings of that episode, but again, she's like having her same problems of hearing Lorraine's voice and having bad nightmares about seeing Lorraine and Hana as one being with two heads kind of thing. They're just kind of like mocking her and yelling at her about being, full of guilt and sin and, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so I think Marianne met up with the Wrights couple, or at least Hana at some point. I think so. Yeah, Marianne eventually meets up with the Wrights couple on their moving day. Had little interactions with Luke, with Hana, and walked out on eavesdropping on a conversation with the couple when she went to go retrieve a box. Like, we chose to not eavesdrop. Came back, spoke with Johannes, and was in the kitchen, and then eventually Luke came up to us and was teasing us about getting spooked because he like jump scared us, and then he was just talking about how if there's anything suspicious, of course report it to him immediately, but if it's just ghost stories and the supernatural, then like can you just like forget about it kind of thing. It's like all just stories anyways. And then and during that conversation, we overheard Hana talking to Zachary and, just kind of getting like, really friendly with him. And that's when we discovered that's how Luke knew of Hana's little like interactions with him. I don't even know. Again, he started getting uncomfortable, low-key jealous. We tried to comfort him, and then he just kind of like brushed us off and then immediately afterwards it was like, okay, everybody else needs to go home. Like, everyone's done their shift, even though we're not nowhere close to like kind of finishing their job. But anyway, so yeah, we got dismissed. Everybody got dismissed. Marianne went back to the city, had a couple drinks, had a little too much to drink. And then in the crawl bar, she met Ashton. Yeah, Ashton was there to try to get some intel from the bartender about Luke Wright. Ha ha ha. So of course, in her drunken stupor, Marianne, of course, recognizes Luke's name, saunters over, and was like, "Are we talking smack about Luke?" kind of thing. So she saunters over to talk about Luke, but she didn't really have much to offer other than the fact that, oh yeah, I worked with him, and apparently Luke is involved in some shady ass business, according to Ashton and what he let on. And then then nothing much really, except Marianne, of course, left off a piece of information that had Ashton a little shook. She was saying how, oh yeah, so what's it called? Marianne was saying how she's suspicious about the mansion because there's something fishy going on. She notices that Isabella was really hesitant with the whole selling of it, and that really got like something thinking, that got Ashton thinking, and that's when he ran out. He gave us his calling card before he left and was like, if there's anything suspicious, if you think something's up, don't do anything risky and just call the number. And then so that's where we left off. And then afterwards we came back again, met up with Hana before the housewarming party, except before we left and before the housewarming party was into full swing, we went to the kitchen area because Marianne finally had her mindset that she would want to get over Lorraine and confront her. So, quote-unquote, confront Lorraine. So to do so, she had to go to the mirror that was moved into the wine cellar, and after much convincing from Johannes to let us go down the cellar, we came upon the mirror. We saw Lorraine. We were having conversations with this Lorraine, quote unquote Lorraine, and she, Marianne was trying to ask for forgiveness or something like that, or like try to put into thoughts of how she needs to move on from Lorraine. And of course this Lorraine person was like, okay, I forgive you if you stay with me. And of course that didn't sit well with Marianne because that's hella shady, and so she was like, no, I can't stay with you. And she tried to get rid of Lorraine by smashing the mirror, but of course that didn't work. The mirror of course didn't turn out to be a medium of some sort for the spirit, and she gets attacked before she gets attacked by Lorraine the spirit, she accidentally stumbles upon a hidden passageway that she triggered from one of the wine shelves or some shit. So she falls over into this new room that looked like a dungeon of some sort. And then so she was on her way, trying to make her way out of the tunnel, but then she stumbles across the actual ghost lady who was there, and the ghost lady chased us, sort of, kind of, not really. Well, Marianne just kind of made a run for it, and then, but anyways, the ghost lady caught us as Lorraine, threw us into a cell, and then made us watch this little video clip on the recording camera that was in the cell about how these students went into the house beforehand and was doing stupid shit, of course, and of course the ghost lady ended up killing them because they saw the letter too. And that's when Marianne recognized the letter. She was like, oh my god, I saw that too. And then so now, of course, that leaves just the cliffhanger of Marianne's end, where she is now imprisoned by this ghost lady. Except before the ghost lady really left us, like like her image sort of like flickered to Charlotte Ermengarde, who is the main like countess or duchess of like the mansion beforehand. So like that was really confusing. I was like, did she somehow like, you know, was cursed by the so-called witch? Because Marianne kind of like reflected on the fact that, oh yeah, so like the urban legend goes is that that Charlotte Ermengarde, or the fiance of Charlotte Ermengarde, was killed by a witch or something like that. So I don't know, maybe Charlotte got cursed and now she's this awful looking, you know, person who's like going around trying to kill people with the letter and shit. But she had dark hair. She has dark hair now when she's originally blonde. So I don't know what happened there. So maybe it's not her. Maybe it's just the ghost lady just again pulling our leg. But whatever. We just have to leave it for now because that's the end of Marianne's point of view, and now we will still see from Rebecca's point of view, and then, you know, see where her story fits into the whole entire timeline right now. So let's see. For her profile, Rebecca Gales, she's an Aries. Hey, Aries. Yes, I'm an Aries too. So her birthday's April 1st. So her birthday's April Fool's, really? Damn. Okay. Shit. She's 5'5", so average, 29 years old. Oh, so she's younger than Zach and younger than Marianne, but older than Isabella. Okay, so she's a history teacher. She's Scottish. She's atheist. Raised Kirk. She has a master's degree in education, major in European history. She likes stovies, reading in the library, going to the gym, cycling and jogging, lacrosse, and lesson plans. Good. You got some cardio in you. Cardio is good because, you know, you never know when you gotta make a run for it. This is great. Okay, so although of Scottish descent, she grew up in Luxbourne and even went to school in St. Goretti. Her parents were professors of European history and Southeast Asian history at Luxbourne University. They were often busy, and that forced Rebecca to be independent early on. So surrounded by books and instilled with a love of learning, she was a star pupil and was often called a teacher's pet for it. Her passion for academics leading to a career in the industry was to be expected of her. She came out of her shell in her high school years, and started becoming the Spitfire she is now. Before then, Ashton was her only friend, though she found him aggravating at first. Independent and used to taking care of others, it was no surprise when she helped out the young foreigner who moves in next door, which is Isabella. So okay, now we can finally get started on her story. Let's see. So this is how it begins, or so they say. Okay, with a gentle wind drifting through wide open windows, muffled laughters and footsteps fading behind empty hallways, and the light kiss of the afternoon sun. Where are we? Soon there will be a call, a crossing of threshold into the unknown. Okay, maybe we are off to some grand adventure or diving into another gripping mystery. One can't really tell. For all I know, a hero might even come sweep me off my feet if I'm lucky. That's not exactly a bad thing when you think about it. Okay, but this is far from one, isn't it? Yes, a riveting tale, that is. Okay. So the mild breeze, the faint murmurs, the warm rays painting every nook and cranny a fiery hue, they are all as real as they can get. As much as I want to write a little tale out of this, I'm far from someone who can. Fleeting fantasies, that's what these are, merely passing thoughts to occupy an idle mind while waiting for another busy workday to end. Okay, so she's just lamenting. Then again, maybe in another life, I am one, who knows? Wow, you're getting really deep on this, huh? But at present, what I have done But at present, what I have and what I've chosen to be, well, a teacher. I won't last years here if I find teaching rowdy out. I won't last years here if I find teaching rowdy adolescents a tedious job, will I? Admittedly, the whole affair isn't exactly as grand or exciting as I had imagined as a child. If I weren't so stubborn and too passionate about the whole idea, I probably would have quit a long time ago. Okay, but it's always the kids that make it worthwhile, isn't it? I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't think teaching high schoolers would be an ideal sort of job for me. I'm not patient enough. As if in agreement, as soon as my pen slides into a neat circle against the papers I'm grading, the final bell rings. Like a dam that has opened, students begin piling out into the hallway soon after. For a short minute, I let the noise fill my ears, let my mind wander to a place far removed from all the hubbub. Solitary moments like this have come few and far between lately. Even my own home hasn't been as quiet as usually as I prefer. Okay, though in hindsight, the entire place hasn't been the same either since Isabella moved in next door. Right, if her fussing over a minor cold last week tells anything, I might as well throw any idea of solitude out of the nearest balcony, so long as she lives nearby. Okay, so this is from the very beginnings, like where we started off as Isabella. At the memory, my eyes automatically shift over the bottle sitting at the edge of my desk. Okay, so like, still near the very beginnings, but like after Isabella gives us the cold medicine and was like, you need to drink this. Yes. A chuckle escapes from me as I reach for it. A little ball of energy and enthusiasm, that big baby. Yes. Mother Hen, she calls me, and then says and does the same thing right after. It's not that I'm unused to being on the receiving end of other people's worries, or I feel any sort of apprehension over her fretting. If I am to be completely honest, it's actually amusing how someone can be childlike one minute and then act like a responsible adult the next. Hey now, we're all very complex creatures, okay? But there's a dissonance there, both in her actions and words. Although she may not look like it, may not say anything, may not lose her cheer, one way or another, I know these troubles have weighed down on her lately. Her face says it all. Hey now. Yes, the return of the haunted keyboard. Yeah, her face says it all. That big numpty. If she thinks I won't notice, she's got another thing coming for her. That's how she always has been. That's how she has always been. I do understand that part loud and clear. It's just that I really rather not pass another burden onto her, or become one myself. Aren't I supposed to be the one taking care of them? Though I guess that's simply one of those things people eventually grow away from once you've all started leading different lives, okay? Not completely different, I hope. Somehow that thought makes me feel uneasy. Thankfully, before stranger ideas can take root in my head, a faint buzzing comes from my bag, cutting through the rest of my thoughts. Oh, this is unknown. A small frown forms in my lips when the screen lights up and an unknown number flashes. Who is this? Who dis? For a long second, my thumb hovers over the answer button. Even the voice that responds, once I do accept the call, is wholly unfamiliar. Hello?
Ah, goodness. Finally, it connects.
Who the hell is this? Is this Rose? Rose?
Hello? Is this Miss Gales? Rebecca Gales?
Yes? Yes, speaking. Who is this?
Oh, sorry.
It's Rose. I think it's Rose.
Rose Cooper.
Yes.
Briar Realty Corporation.
Is this when Isabella was found, like, on the stairs, like, passed out? Briar Realty? My frown deepens as I strain from my chair. Something in her tone, despite sounding remarkably friendly and light, doesn't sit quite well with me. Yeah, probably. The rigid pause that follows doesn't help ease the tension that has suddenly descended either. Miss Cooper?
Yes. Things are a bit busy on my end. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
I'm not certain if Isabella has mentioned anything before, but we're working together on a property at the moment, and...
Stop that. And what? The Ermengarde mansion. Yes, she said something about that earlier. Is there a problem?
This is about Isabella, actually.
Yeah, we found her passed out on the stairs, and it looks like she has like a mild concussion from hitting her head down the way. She wastes no time relaying everything. The details she provided are admittedly a bit vague, but enough for me to get a gist of what happened. It isn't the bad sort I'm expecting, though still worrying, yes. Especially with words panic attack and pale looking a bit sickly woven together in one foreboding sentence. Oh, is this even after that? So it's like when when Isabella was freaking out over the letter, like once she recalled what happened after she, like, fainted. But as quickly as it surfaces, I stomp down on the urge to demand answers right there and then. Now isn't the proper time for useless questions. I'll find out soon enough regardless. To Miss Cooper's credit, she neither hesitates nor falters all throughout. There's some sort of comfort in knowing Isabella has someone like her to guide her, though not as much as I would have liked. After all, this is Isabella we're talking about. Okay, what are the chances she said a bunch of excuses so she won't get sent home? High. Yes, high. Very high. Yes. She is so going to hear it this time.
You were listed as one of her emergency contacts, so I thought it'd be best you know about this.
Yes, of course, and I'm glad you let me know. How is she? Is she doing okay?
I had her take a break for now, but honestly, I'd feel better if someone were to pick her up and take her home for some rest.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Anthem's a fair distance from Luxbourne. I really don't want her going off on her own.
Oh, and is this how Ash ended up at the house then? Maybe through Isabella? No. Isabella what am I saying? Not Rebecca. I'm not saying. I just realized that it's not Rebecca who called Ash to go pick up Isabella, because I think what happened was that Ash was already there doing his own investigation, and then they came up to meet up with everyone there, and then Zachary informed Rebecca that Ash and Isabella came together, and she was really surprised. She was like, "Oh, really? Like, I didn't know that."
I do it myself, but you know how it is today. Big day. People everywhere until the open house ends.
Yes.
I'm really sorry to ask this of you, Miss Gales. I know you're busy.
No, it's all good. I was just about to leave from work, yeah. I hope to leave early today anyway. A few minutes ahead wouldn't hurt. I can be there in a few, 30, 40 minutes tops. Is that alright?
More than fine, Miss Gales, thank you.
Alright.
We're supposed to be here until...
Uh-huh.
Oh, excuse me. One moment, please.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I can't help but think that Rose's voice at that moment sounds like the operator tone. It's like, the number that you reached is unavailable. Please hang up and try again. The faint hum of conversation echoes from her end. It sounds as though the place is buzzing with more people than you'll expect from a regular open house. I was skeptical at first. The house is old, not to mention its inconvenient location in Luxbourne's outskirts, right? But it's nice architect, I guess, and rich people, they just love big things. Who wants to live in a place almost an hour's drive away from the comforts of a city? I know, right? God. But from what little I can hear, it appears Isabella has every right to be optimistic about this sale. If I didn't understand why she was so adamant refusing my offer to help before, I think I do now. To some degree.
We'll be resuming the tour soon. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I really need to get this thing going.
No problem, girl. You do you.
Lord knows how I'll salvage the situation here. It shouldn't be anything complicated, but still, clients. They can be difficult when they want to be.
Yes, indeed.
Anyway, just look for me when you get here, alright? I shouldn't be too hard to miss.
Okay, with your green hair and everything. Alright, no problem. Thanks for letting me know about this. Yep. Just make sure Isabella stays put, please. Heaven knows how stubborn that girl can be.
Oh, believe me, I know. Don't worry about it. I'll have a few of our staff keep an eye on her for me until you get here.
Okay, but I don't think Rebecca would. I don't even know how she managed to get informed that Isabella left with Ash. Or I don't even know. Yeah, that's all I'm asking. I appreciate it. The whole thing ends on a surprisingly pleasant note. Yeah. If only the same can be said for the news she brought. I allow a brief minute to pass to ease whatever tension had latched itself firmly to my nerves. But no matter how much I wish for it, my mind stubbornly refuses to do so. My hands are unsteady against the papers I pretend to arrange after. Lucid thoughts, every single ounce of its grimmer. Lucid thoughts, every single ounce of it grimmer than the other, grows with each passing second I linger. Okay, yes. Something about this whole thing, along with the sudden unease and nagging worry, screams off. Yes, wrong. This isn't the riveting tale I've hoped to step into today. Whoa, that's life. Alright, so even on a rush, getting everything in order before leaving takes up nearly a good quarter hour. Oh, damn. By the time I make it out of the classroom, the commotion has already died down, dwindling to mere echoes and distant laughters. From the nearby room, melodies from a rehearsing band drift freely into the air, filling the almost empty hallway with their warm, lively tunes. And any other day, I'll stop and bask in the music and enjoy what little peace it brings. Not today, however. No, not today. My steps are brisk and sure as I march to Edward Hall's exit. Yeah. The sooner I confirm Isabella's okay, the sooner I can shake off this niggling feeling. For one reason or another, that single call, of all possible things, has thrown everything off kilter. I'd rather this be over with as quickly as possible. As so much that I nearly barrel over a student in my haste. Oops. My bad. Though perhaps it's really the other way around. Oh my. Oh, sweet little Kylie. When I look down, a set of eyes, bright and hopeful, stare back at me. Her arms are wrapped around my waist like a vice, and at my attention, a grin spreads over her face. Buenas tardes, Miss Pink. Why is Kylie's voice not like, what the fuck? I only turned down Rebecca's, not Kylie's. Kylie, I thought you had some voice acting here. Okay. Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires? Is she Spanish? Oh, hello, Kylie. You aren't supposed to run into people like that. I nearly tripped over you. Oh, sorry, Miss Pink. Miss Pink. She loosens her hold on me, but not a hint of guilt or regret appears on her. If anything, it seems the remark only amused her. A smile appears on my face before I can help it, matching the one on her own. Just remember not to do it again, alright? You could get hurt. Yeah, I nearly just barreled over you.
You sound like my mama when she's scolding Rowan, Miss Pink.
There we go. We got some voice acting here. Guess they missed a couple lines. Oops. I'm sure your mama only means well. I know she'll be worried sick if one of you were to get hurt. Yeah. Where's your brother anyway? Aren't you two supposed to be heading home now?
Rowan said he's got some stuff he needs to do before we go.
Okay.
I think he's taking too long.
Yeah. Where is he?
But he promised to buy me jelly babies today.
Dog.
If I keep what he's doing a secret from Mama and Papa.
What's he doing? What shady business is he doing? What is he up to? Any chance you'll tell Miss Pink about it? She shakes her head, both her hands going to her mouth as if to keep a precious secret from spilling out.
I made a promise.
Okay.
He said it's for Tio Luke.
Tio? Luke? Tio? Is it like uncle? I think that's Tio. Yeah, uncle's Tio. Oh, something like a gift?
Like a dare.
Like a dare?
Tio promised to take him somewhere cool when he's old enough. Rowan's gonna prove he's a grown-up.
Oh yeah? And how's he gonna do that? Laughter slips from my lips. Laughter slips free from my lips. So the teacher in me wants to give whoever this Tio is a reprimand for bringing about this kind of behavior in children. Well, if only you knew that's Luke Wright, the Luke Wright. But if both Suarez's kids are so fond of him, there shouldn't be anything to worry about, yes? At any rate, they're nothing but well-behaved. At any rate, they're nothing but well-behaved, both Kylie and her brother. Rowan, the eldest, may have an occasional. Why can't I read? Sorry, I just had to answer a phone call and I'm just out of breath. So Rowan, the eldest, may have an occasional odd streak in and out of class, but their parents taught them well. I see no reason to cast any suspicions of bad behavior on them. Okay. So as long as it isn't anything dangerous, alright? Yes.
It's not. Cross my heart.
Okay, I trust you, girl.
My drawings are a lot prettier than what he's doing anyway. Tio said so.
Oh, so is he painting?
Do you want to see? I drew one earlier at class.
Sure. Is that why you're here?
Not really.
Okay.
I was gonna show it to my friend first. But since it's you, I'm sure she wouldn't mind if you see it before she does.
Okay. Oh no, I can't stay right now, Kylie. Oh right, I got emergencies. Her face falls immediately after the words are out. A small part of me feels responsible for that crestfallen look, but as much as I want to stay a little longer, there's another place I need to be at right now. Yes. And frankly, another child to look after. Yes. Taking both of her hands, I kneel in front of her and muster the most rueful smile I can give. At her age, I'm quite sure she already understands what I'm about to say before they even out. But remarkably, she doesn't look away or pout as I'm expecting her to. I'm sorry. You know what, Rowan? Rowan has a class with me on Monday, around this time. Why don't you drop by again next week, after class? I'll even make sure to wait for you. It's just that I absolutely must leave now. My friend had an accident earlier, and I'm the only one she has here.
What about her mama and papa?
Her mom and dad are in another country. Her family lives really far from here, I'm afraid. Do you remember where Asia is, the southeast part? That's where they are. Her eyes immediately light up at my question. Just like that, I know I've earned the girl's forgiveness. Yes.
Oh, just like Takako.
Takako, like her nanny, I guess. I assume. Who?
My friend.
Oh, your friend. Okay. Oops.
She said she used to live there, only just a little higher than southeast.
Higher. Oh, maybe Japan. Maybe.
But she hasn't come home in a long time, so she doesn't remember much about it anymore.
Right. Okay.
Melody says it's weird I talk to her, but I think she's just shy.
Well, screw Melody.
They could be good friends too. Don't you think so, Miss Pink?
Yes, I think so. Maybe if you introduce them properly, they will be. Yeah.
That's what I think.
And I think you should do it.
Takako's just lonely. If she makes more friends, she won't be anymore.
Exactly. So that means you should help her make more friends.
Is your friend like that too?
Kind of. Not really. I don't know. A little, possibly. To be honest, sometimes I can't tell with her. After all, Isabella has always been the kind to hold a smile, even when things have taken a turn for the worse. 5 years and one will think it's enough time to know a person. But when you consider it, yes, come to think of it, all these years I've never, not even once, seen her cry. Not over a trivial matter or even when things are tough.
Okay, you can go to her. I'll just show you my drawing next time.
Thanks, Kylie. You're such a sweetie. Thank you. Remind me to buy you a huge glass of parfait, alright?
No, I'll get a stomachache. Takako says so.
Aw. No. Okay. Oh, but she's like, okay, maybe you can.
A small one is okay.
Yes. Okay, a small one. I'll remember that. Say hi to your friend for me.
I will. I'm sure she'd love to meet you too. See you, Miss Pink.
Bye. Okay, I'll see you later, Kylie.
London Bridge is
Alright,
falling
bye.
down,
She doesn't look back or
falling
wait
down,
for any sort of
falling
goodbye
down.
from me.
London Bridge is
With
falling
a song and
down, my
with a song and an
fair
extra
lady.
spring in her steps, she bounds across the corridor with as much spirit only a child her age can have. I mean, I wouldn't mind kids like Kylie, like the ones that are like, you know, really kind of mellow and kind of like they're cute and you know they generally are like they get what's going on kind of thing. Like I don't mind kids like her, but like the rowdy ones and the ones that just throw tantrums and shit like that and are unreasonable, then like I don't like them. They're like no. Anyways, new journal entry. So, Rebecca Gales received a phone call from Rose Cooper after class asking her to pick up Isabella Santos from the Ermengarde mansion. On her way out of school, an excited Kylie Suarez, God, I can never like pronounce it right the first time, Suarez stops her favorite teacher from leaving. Yes, aw. What a sweetie. Okay. So, as if the conversation has never taken any downhill turn for her at all. As if there isn't a single thing to worry about in the world. Yes, children. Not long after, she disappears behind a door, leaving behind strains of an old, familiar rhyme lingering in the air. Carefree, unbidden, untroubled moments like this, I envy her, yes. And as I resume my hurried pace, a tiny whisper at the back of my mind wishes the same can be said for myself and my own worries. Adulting. Adulting is so hard. Luxembourg may be a small city, but it's no stranger to hellish rush hour traffic. Yep, I think every city has those. But surprisingly, getting out of the city today proves more of a breeze than a hassle. A relief considering how none of my calls to Isabella have made it through. Either the reception's really bad over there, or she's ignoring them on purpose. They're just really bad. Both does nothing to ease the disquiet in me. The rest of my drive passes without much incident. As soon as I'm out the busy street. God. In less than 30 minutes, the mansion looms ahead of me. Ooh my. Alright, for all the fuss Isabella made about the house, it remains a thing of beauty. Unlike Luxembourg, the estate and the nearby Anson village stand as its complete opposite. Okay. Living and breathing the songs of the old, whispers of a once booming haven lingering in the air. Contemporary conveniences aside, it's a place I'm glad modernization hasn't wholly touched. It's just a shame the locals know more of the silly hearsay than the history itself. Oh, if I could only knock some sense into these people. But yeah, girl, the thing is that those legends might be true, though. Sadly, complaining is all I can afford to do. As much as I want to give them a piece of my mind, it isn't why I'm here. Yes. But I'm pretty sure Isabella is gone by now with Ash. Okay, so I don't think these rich types will appreciate getting a lecture from me either. I have as much business with them as they have with me. Okay. With a heavy sigh, I give myself one last second to take in the scenery before heading up the main entrance. Okay. And it's empty, right? Most of the guests are already heading out. Though some still linger, it's mainly just to take photos of the house's facade or its various rooms. I pause for a moment, scanning the small crowd gathered at the foyer, looking for any sign of that familiar ponytail among the sea of hats and heads. No sign of her. Yeah, because she probably left. No sign of the other staff or Miss Cooper either. I can certainly look for Isabella on my own, but in a place this big, I'd be lucky if I didn't end up lost or find her before we need to meet with Zachary and Ash tonight. But that's the thing, is that she's already there on her way. Sighing, I reach for my mobile and redial her number, the gesture familiar now after so many attempts earlier. If she doesn't answer, I can still try contacting Miss Cooper. I just hope the network reception will cooperate this time. This side of the country has never been popular with the tech savvy after all. So to my relief, it only took three unsuccessful tries. At the fourth one, right as it's about to switch into another intercept message, the line finally rings. Yay! Pick up. No? Silence follows while I wait for her to pick up, the ringing going far too long for my taste, right? By now, most of the visitors have already cleared out. All I have for company are the faint murmurs and an eerie calmness left in their wake. A sudden hush settles and gives way to noises louder than they're ever meant to be. Doors creaking and slamming shut in some distant part of the mansion, floorboards groaning under the sheer weight of the house's history. In the now empty hall, they all reverberate with special clarity against the walls. Like this, those old stories seem to almost have a ring of truth to it, because they are true. I don't get to stray far into that ugly line of thought, however. Not a second later, a click sounds from the other end. Hello? No, not you. Hello, Isabella? Miss Cooper called earlier and... Help me. Help me. Isabella? Belle, are you alright? Without any warning, the call gets cut off. Ooh, wow. Busy notes blare sharply against the heavy silence. But above the noise cutting through the mute air remains the faint cries of a woman. Really? Is this... Wow. Shit. From beyond the foyer. My hand falls to my side as I cast a wary look around, waiting for someone to come running. Surely I can't be the only one hearing this. Where is Rose? Did everyone seriously just leave? And is this like a mysterious incident or an unknown incident we have that Rebecca is like only that we are now only experiencing because we're in Rebecca's point of view? Damn. There must still be some staff hanging around, checking things out, right? But no one does. Not even when her sobs turn more frantic and anguished. Excuse me? Hello? Who's there? Isabella? No, it's not her, girl. Isabella, is that you? Nope. No answer. Growing anxious, I amble over where her cries come from, each step slow and cautious towards a door on the other end of the room. While I'm far from someone who readily gives in to fear or stories lacking factual basis, the vague, restless feeling I had earlier immediately returns to me, right? This is a horrible idea. Like, you should just gotten out as soon as, like, you hear this shit. And despite myself, my heart begins to race and my breathing quickens. Belle? Belle, it's me! Miss Cooper called. Is everything okay? This is where you leave. Abruptly, all of it stops. Oh my gosh. My whole body tenses, mouth dragging in a ragged breath, ears straining for any other sound yet to come from the other side. But nothing follows. Instead, the quiet only lends itself to the heavy tension in the air, as if every small movement will disturb the fragile stillness hanging in the room. I wait for another second. Then with a caution, I reach for the knob. No! My fingers barely graze the brass handle when a hand falls on my shoulder. People need to stop doing that. Like in every horror movie, people just need to stop doing that. I bet it's Rose.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Ma'am?
Or it's Marianne. Hello? Woo! Wah! She's just ready to punch somebody in the throat. Don't care if it's still demons or zombies. She's going like freaking Decker.
I am so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
I knew it was her. I knew it was gonna be her. Yes. No. Yeah. Still reeling, my gaze shifts back to the door, as if any second now the cries will start again, or whoever's inside will burst out of the room. Nope. But I don't get to dwell on these. The woman's worried voice breaks through the haze in my mind again, oddly soothing in the thick of my unease. Even if the concerned look comes from a total stranger, finally being in the company of someone else is somehow comforting, right?
Ma'am? Are you okay?
Never want to find yourself alone in this giant ass, like, old mansion. Never. Yeah, no. What? Oh, no, I'm fine. This is probably just some cold.
Do you need to sit down?
Oh, no, I'm good. No need. Yeah, no need. I'm actually looking for a friend. I wave the mobile in front of her like the gesture alone explains everything. Vaguely, I note my tight grip on it and quickly slip it into my pocket before she notices. She doesn't need to know.
Well, I'm not really sure if your friend would still be here.
Right? Okay. So yeah, she came too late, and that's how she didn't know that Isabella came with Ash. Yeah, until she finally meets up with them.
We're actually about to close the open house in a few minutes, ma'am.
Yes. No worries. She's not a guest here. She works for Briar Realty. Yeah. Miss Cooper called me earlier. In fact, I'm also looking for her. Yes. A recognition flashes in her eyes, and her worried expression dissolves into a smile at once. It's all I need to know that I don't have to look elsewhere or venture deeper into the mansion on my own. That's good. In some way, I'm not too keen on the latter right now. Exactly.
Oh, Miss Rebecca Gales, is it?
Yes. Yes. Sorry if I'm a bit late.
It's not a problem. I was busy with the open house and a few clients anyway. It's actually a good thing you came when you did.
Okay.
Let's see. Isabella should be here somewhere. I told her to stay put earlier. Girl never listen.
What?
Rose? Rosie?
Rosie?
May I have a minute? There's just this one little thing before we go.
Rosie, Otana, Hana's still here too. Where the hell have you guys been? Like, okay, so the walls are paper thin, but you guys didn't hear me yell, like, hello, is anyone there? Like, Isabella? Like, you guys are probably in the parlor anyway. You're just like, what, to my left or some shit like that? God, guys. Miss Cooper's head immediately snaps up at the voice. In a blink, a different kind of smile spreads on her face. A smile still, friendly even, but the kind given mainly for the sake of pleasing other people rather than making friends.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there in a few.
It's called a retail smile. It's fake as hell. It's an impressive thing, to say the least. Yes, that level of professionalism. I suppose working years in this kind of business trains you enough to be able to pull that off without batting an eye. It certainly didn't seem to have rubbed off on Isabella, though.
Sorry, could you give me a second? I have to take care of this.
No problem. I'll just try to call her again. Don't worry about it. I understand. I can wait a few more minutes. Yeah, clients, right?
You won't hear anything from me. Priorities, you know?
All right.
But if you want, you can stay at the parlor in the meantime. I think we have a few refreshments left.
Oh, okay. Never mind. They're not in the parlor, but anyway, still, it's like... Damn. No thank you. Yeah, no thank you. I'm going out with a few friends after this. Yeah. Isabella's supposed to join us too, but that depends on how she's doing, of course.
Alright, this won't be long, I promise.
Alright, girl. You do you. She throws me an apologetic look before sauntering over the small group gathered at the entrance. Oh, okay. Right, guys, where have you been? I've been like yelling throughout this entire place, just being like, Isabella, are you okay? And no one bothered to just be like, hey, who's that girl? Like, do you hear that? Like, oh my god. A couple or siblings and another woman, probably their secretary. Nope. All wrong. It's a couple. And it's not their secretary, it's their interior designer. Either way, they look no different from the other guests. Yeah. All three of them primly dressed, albeit in a manner significantly simpler than the others. No frills, no extravagance of any form. Alright, but their gestures and movements alone speak volumes for their ingrained lifestyle. Alright, in their presence I do what I can to appear inconspicuous on my side of the foyer. Maybe accepting Miss Cooper's offer would have been a much better choice than standing around awkwardly and gaping at them, right? All while also attempting my best not to listen in on their conversation. Although that one proves more difficult with how enthusiastic the blonde woman is. Her voice easily echoes through the walls with only the 5 of us here. Pretty soon I find myself being drawn into their talk without meaning to.
Tomorrow? First thing in the morning?
Okay.
First thing in the morning, ma'am.
Yes. The mundane talk isn't what catches my attention, however.
Very well. We'll have our lawyers prepare everything as soon as possible.
Yes, getting the house.
Let's make this whole thing easier for everyone, shall we? Just let me know if there's anything you need from me.
Okay.
You know how to contact me, yes?
Yes.
Got your mobile number saved here already.
Yes.
Good. It's just a matter of time then.
Uh-huh. Alright, it's a brief moment. A fleeting shift of my eye.
Monday for us, Marianne.
Okay.
As long as you're positive, we won't be having any problems by that time. You can count on my team.
Okay.
You worry too much. Let me handle those things.
Okay.
Do be thrilled, though. I imagine it's not every day you get projects like this, hmm?
Okay. And the instant I turn my gaze on him, I see it. See what?
Oh, I'm certain Mint's ecstatic, Buttercup.
Okay.
Aren't you, Marianne?
What's up with Luke and how Rebecca's acting?
You know, we could all celebrate this with a few drinks. Why don't we?
What's...
In fact, there's this really excellent Irish pub I visited a few days ago.
Okay. Looming. Hovering over his shoulders. Yes, there is a dark aura hovering over his shoulders now that you mention it, because I thought it's just, you know, the lights and shit, but no, there's something going on. Drawn to him like a moth to a flame. A dark blur. No. A shadow.
I think I'll pass on that, sir. I have more important matters to attend to.
Damn, what happened to the quality of the voice here?
Darling, your liver.
Wait, oh, maybe it's Rebecca just zoning out. Oh my
you
gosh.
already had a glass today, and apparently a few days ago as well.
Okay.
How many times do we have to remind you? Doctor's orders, remember?
Okay.
What a shame.
Alright.
You never let me do anything fun.
Okay. So, but as I try to make sense of it, a heavy feeling descends over my whole body. Oh my god, Rebecca, do you have like a sixth sense that you're not aware of? It happens without warning, forcing me to close my eyes. The sensation creeps to every part of me, crawling under my skin and draining me little by little of any strength. Before I know it, my hand is gripping the nearby door for support. The sudden nausea drowns out their voices and what little sound there is. All except for the whispers and laughters. Oh, judging, mocking, taunting. Muffled, inaudible words bearing down on me like a death sentence. They wrap around my neck and limbs, binds tightening with every syllable, every utterance. And with each draw of a breath I take, they drag me down slowly, almost painfully, into a bottomless abyss. On and on and on, till the sounds turn into mere distant echoes. Until suddenly it shatters.
Well, what are we waiting for? Are we done here?
Oh my. Ugh. Okay, back to reality. His voice rips through the fog like a sharp blade and my eyes snap open. When I look at them again, it's gone. Yeah, when I look to them again, it's gone.
Just a second, darling.
Oh my, Luke is getting haunted by a spirit? Is he possessed?
Send my regards to Isabel, please.
Okay.
Poor girl. Please let her know she doesn't have to worry and tell her to get some rest.
Okay.
Anyway, we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Alright.
Likewise, ma'am.
Okay. Alright. Okay, no shadows or dark clouds. Okay. Only amicable smiles and cordial handshakes, the usual pleasantries as Miss Cooper leads them out of the mansion like a graceful host. None of the group seems to have noticed it. And even as I force my breathing to calm down, keep my eyes trained on their backs, and wait for something to happen, it doesn't come back. She returns a moment later. Gently, she closes the great doors behind her, but there's a smile on her lips and an extra skip and an extra skip in her step when she walks back to me. Yes, no doubt about, selling the mansion. Whatever she was discussing with the group had put her in a good mood. Even she appears to have not observed anything odd. Was I just seeing things? No, girl.
Glad that was over.
Right.
It's been a long day. I thought for sure we're going to... Hey, are you sure you're doing okay? You look a bit green.
Oh. It's all good. I'm actually still recovering from a cold. The weather's been crazy lately. That must be it. Okay. The weather, the stupid cold, and the friendly warnings I'm too stubborn to listen to. As much as I hate to admit it, Isabella's right. I was and still am a little feverish when she visited me at school this morning. The medicine helped, of course, but only some. Although it's not like I can't function, it did get better after lunch, and I was able to go through my schedule like the usual. Now I'm not so sure. However, I can't keep acting like I've seen some sort of apparition when it's anything but. I simply must have listened too many times to Isabella last week. My fever-muddled mind has started to confuse things. No, girl. It's your sixth sense that you haven't, you're not aware of, probably. If this doesn't let up, I just need another visit to my doctor, plain and simple. Though I do hope it won't get worse, we did promise to watch Zachary's film together.
I know what you mean. I've been complaining to Isabel.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to affect her much, though. Must be because she grew up in the tropics.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we? She's probably hanging out with the rest of the catering staff.
No, she left. Oh yeah, she didn't tell Rose about it though. Yeah, so... Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if she's there. She eats like 10 hungry men when she isn't feeling well. Lead the way. Okay. With a small nod, she gestures for me to follow. I do so without much thought, finally putting everything in the back of my mind. Alright, okay, so she's not there. Hello? Alright, okay, there we go. The entire visit took a whole 24 minutes, and my trip to the mansion, as it turns out, is a useless endeavor in itself, because she wasn't there. Yes. Okay, so let's read up on the journal entry and see what it has to say about what Rose saw, Rebecca saw. So okay, here we go. So while waiting at the mansion, Rebecca overheard a brief conversation between the right couple, their interior designer, and estate agent Rose Cooper. It was discovered afterwards that Isabella had left a few hours ago. Yes, indeed. So Isabella's no longer there, left shortly before I arrived. Yes. Or at least that's what the few staff who saw her assumed. None of them knew where she went, but I can take a few guesses. There are only a number of places in Luxbourne she frequents, and well, she's never been the complex kind. It doesn't really take a genius to figure it out. Still, it's odd she left on her own. She could have, at least, waited for Miss Cooper. It would have saved her having to pay the cab's fare twice today. Really? Oh, true, yeah, but still, like, she just met up with Ash, and, it's a convenience kind of thing. And right after she was told to stay put, I mean, who does that? Oh, sod off. You don't need... Oh, sod off, you don't own the road. Me though. In the end, all Miss Cooper could give me were a string of apologies for my trouble and a request to let her know when I find Isabella. The whole affair didn't even last long. I probably spent more time traveling back and forth, I know. Soon enough, I'm weaving my way back to downtown Luxbourne, worried sick, and on top of that, maybe a little annoyed. Yes, I'd be annoyed too. Whether at the unexpected turn of events or at Isabella herself, I'd rather not think about it for now. Not when I'm already running late for Zachary's film. Besides, I'm perfectly sure that's where I'll find her. Yes, and find her you did. As one would expect, people are already gathered at the movie house when I get to it. The small avenue where it's located has been closed off early from any passing traffic to make way for the avid moviegoers who are sure to crowd the venue. I have to park almost a street away and walk the remaining distance because of it. Damn. Looking for them has taken a while in a crowd this big, but I eventually spot them near the entrance. Right, they are my homeboys and my homies and my homegirl. Thanks to Zachary mostly, because he's so tall. And like I've surmised, Isabella's with them. I knew it. Yep, there she is. The troublemaker. Wasting no time, I march over their little group. Yeah. Words filled with concern tumble out of my mouth before I can stop myself. Isabella, oh thank goodness. Yes.
Becca, you're just in time.
Yeah, well, yeah. And an odd expression crosses her face as I hold it with both hands, but I ignore it in favor of getting in favor of getting a good look at her, forcing her to keep still and fix her gaze at me. Yes.
Becca, you're squishing my face.
Because I've been worried sick about you. How are you? Are you alright?
Why wouldn't I be?
Because you fell down the stairs and Rose called me. There doesn't seem to be any visible injury, nor does she appear to be in pain. Apart from her confused frown at my questions, she looks pretty much like how she would any other day. Even so, you can't really tell those things with her at a first glance. Yeah. The last time she got sick, she never bothered to call anyone, even me, who lives right next door. If I hadn't checked on her then, she probably would have died on her bed with the rest of us none the wiser. It's one thing we laugh about now, but moments like those also teaches you something about a person. If anything, it has given me more reason to constantly worry about her. Yes, and the moment a familiar name comes up, in the moment a familiar name comes up, I know my concerns right now aren't completely baseless. Rose called me earlier, yes. Her expression swiftly changes and gently as she can, Isabella pushes my hands away, even before she says anything, I already have a hunch how this whole thing will play out.
Oh, no, everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today.
No, not about that. Jesus, that's not what I'm talking about. How is your head? Yeah. And then and there, the whole conversation goes down as I've imagined. Yep, she dodges my hand when I reach for the back of her head, intending to check the said injury myself, even makes a show of hiding behind Zachary just to avoid me. Instantly, what's supposed to be a simple inquiry dissolves into a shameless game of tag. Hey now, shouting and chasing like none of us can be bothered to act like the full-grown adults we're all supposed to be. Including Ashton. I won't put it past Isabella, but Ash, out of everyone? In fact, if that stupid smirk on his face tells me anything, he finds the whole mess amusing. Yes, he does. Oh, for the love of... Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
She did look pale when I saw her.
Yes.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Ashton.
Wow.
You traitor. I'll get you back for this.
Okay.
Just you wait.
Alright. God.
What? I'm just saying it as it is.
Okay.
If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Okay. There's a moment's pause. Yeah. My hand stills midair as my attention shifts to Ashton and the words he leaves hanging between the four of us. Yeah. He doesn't meet my eye. I don't think he's even aware of what he said. But the meaning in each syllable alone is clear. And they echo. What? They sting. They burn. Why? I'm sorry. Saw her?
Yeah, they arrived together.
Yes.
Bella looked fine to me then.
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, is she just gonna be where she gets low-key jealous? Of course. Of course. Okay. Why else would Isabella leave on her own after being told to stay put after that little chat about money this morning? Something close to silence falls while I mull over their words, both what's already been said and what's left unspoken. When I do find my voice, it only reeks of nothing but bitter, unpleasant thoughts. Thoughts I quickly stamp out before they surface. Okay. Thoughts I hide the best I can in the deepest parts of my mind, locking it away for no one to see. Oh, that's good. At least she didn't have to travel alone, right? At least. Good. Wow. Nice. Nice cover-up. Yet, try as I might, the green-eyed monster easily rears its ugly head. Yes. Like it always does every time his gaze lingers a second longer. Every time he smiles in a manner far too gentle, far too sincere, whenever he thinks no one can see. Yeah. Every time my mind suggests his words mean more than they should. Oh my gosh, every small little thing. Despite what he says, despite his tone.
Look, you guys.
Oh my gosh, she is so low-key jealous. Jesus, Rebecca, you keep denying how you don't have a thing for Ash, but you actually do. A big one. For all I know, it may just be the same kind of fondness born from friendship. Maybe I'm simply overthinking like he often tells me, or maybe there really is something there. But in his short display of impatience, I know the whole of it is just for show. After all, growing up together with him didn't teach me nothing about him. For whose sake is it this time though? For him? For Zachary? For her? Or for me? That I can't tell.
If she says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either. Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me, if she can still run around like that.
Yes. Why are you taking her side?
I'm not.
Okay.
But if she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the one looking forward to it the most.
Right. And she's fine. And she does. And she will. And that's... Ash, that's you of all people should know.
Tell you what, if I notice something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself.
Okay, there we go. We already been through this conversation.
Is that good enough for you?
So yes. So my mouth opens and snaps shut almost as quickly, forming a thin, hard line instead. I can't respond, not because there's nothing to say. On the contrary, there's plenty, so many things I can use to reason and get him to agree. But because he speaks with much sincerity, with much reassurance, it feels like there isn't even a choice. All I can give is a long, deep sigh, long, deep breath, and a reluctant nod in the face of it. Before I can get a grip of myself and my own weakness, the mood immediately shifts and I'm being tackled into a hug.
Thanks, Becca.
No problem, girl. It's always been you with him, isn't it?
Did you say something?
Oh, no. Nope, me? Nothing. Don't mind me. A lie, obviously. What else can it be? Yep. Each and every smile, a tiny effort to keep things as they are, or so I tell myself. Little do I know, this is merely a preamble. Preamble? It starts out quietly and without fanfare, amidst friendly jibes and harmless teasing, with a scrap of paper fluttering harmlessly to the ground. Yes, the letter. Dun dun dun. One that looks suspiciously like a cheap Halloween prank no matter how you look at it. And yet, despite how ludicrous it all is, Isabella stubbornly insists, as if our whole life depends on acknowledging the truth in her story. Because you really should, girl. Like, things about to go, shit's about to hit the fan, and then when they do, you're gonna be like, oh damn, maybe we should have listened to her, Does she even realize how absurd she sounds now? Crivens, even my students wouldn't fall for this. Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far? Nope, she doesn't give me time to regret nor think over my choice of words. From there, it escalates, grows into an argument too petty even for our standards as adults. Before we know it, one after another, harsh, scathing words are being spoken.
It's not a joke! Will you guys listen to me first?
Yes.
I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me.
Yes, I get it. We all get it. But not in this moment, no.
If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Yes, killed you.
Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella. Even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true.
No, are you sure about that?
But it's real!
Yes.
What do you think I saw?
Uh-huh.
A hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
Yeah, no.
It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing.
Right.
We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
Well, of course they wouldn't believe you, because, ghost shit. It's just all rumors until, they actually turn out to be real. But someone has to be patient in all of this, and however much my own has already been frayed earlier, there's no one else. Who else here can deal with someone selfishly acting like a kid? Like every other time, it has to be me. We are, and you know that, but this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. You don't know that, Rebecca. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating, but based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
Yeah. Just like that, she cuts us off, yes. Slams the door right on our faces while my own temper flares before I can stop it. Although it falters briefly at the hard expression on her when she snatches the blasted paper from Ashton, I hold on to it. Regardless of how upset she appears, soured expression and balled fists, throwing a tantrum is simply unacceptable. For a grown woman at that. Words form at the tip of my tongue, ready. But before I can open my mouth and let all of it out, her feelings and mistakes be damned, Zachary raises a voice of his own.
Guys!
Yes, guys, stop fighting! A warning underneath the warm and hopeful beat in his voice. We all stop to look at him, and even my own anger subsides a little at his tone.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her.
Right.
And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together?
Uh-huh. And to an outsider, it may sound like a desperate request, but Zachary has always been the one to keep a level head over petty squabbles. This time's no different. He knows what to say, and when he lets it fall, they only ring sharp and true.
We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
And as careful as he is with his own tone, it does make me feel ashamed. We're supposed to be here for him, to give what little support we can give, yet here he is trying to keep 3 stubborn people from outright hashing it out in public. Yes. Later, we can and will talk about it, of course. There's a proper time and place for it, and at the moment, my anger and whatever reprimands it carries no longer matter. Beside me, Ashton appears to have already caught on. The lines of his shoulders eased to something much more relaxed, his expression back to its usual nonchalance. God. Isabella, however, she stands perfectly still, her hands clasping the straps of her bag like a lifeline, eyes trained at some point near her shoes. There's no anger in her face, only an undeniable hurt. But she's never been good at hiding what she thinks, always the open book, always the one to wear her heart out in the open. And when she looks up, her answer is also as simple.
If we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
Right. There's our choice that we made, as Isabella. Her lips are curled up in a smile, though lacking both its usual brightness and glee, it's a smile nonetheless. I've seen it countless of times. It's the very same one she would show when she knows she has no other choice, or simply when things get tough for her. Yes. But despite everything I already know about her, it still catches me off guard. In all honesty, I expected her to run, to balk at the first sign of losing this time. No, I won't even be surprised. At 26, she is the youngest among the rest of us, less experienced, less accustomed to dealing with trivial quarrels like this. No, I made her become more of a mature person, okay? Yet here she is holding herself and coping with it like how she would with matters concerning her family. Outside of that, to me, she has always been this childish, naive girl, and watching the opposite play out right now, somehow I find it difficult to wrap my head around it.
All right, that's the Isabella I know.
All right.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
Good. But I envy her.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby. I'm not one.
Aw, don't cry.
Stop it.
Alright, I envy her spirit, her warmth, her cheer, the shine in her eyes when she looks at the world, how everything seems to simply fall back into a pleasant, lively rhythm with her around, how easily and tightly she fits into our lives, even without bonds only long years could forge, like a lost piece of a puzzle despite her jagged edges, how she draws people to her with ease. How Ashton, of all people, can be drawn to her.
Okay, scaredy cat then.
Oh my goodness.
That too. If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Oh, come on, guys. Okay, let's just go. I make no effort keeping the bitterness from my tone. Yes. I let it linger stiffly in the air as I avert my gaze from them. From their playful banter, their friendly teasing remarks, and Ashton's tender, affectionate smiles. Oh my gosh, she is so jealous. Hey, girl, I get it. All before the stabbing aches in my heart change into something too painful to bear. Yes, it's all in my head, is what I'd often tell myself. And she's been pining after him for like how long? Yet the way my heart rends at just the sight of them hurts. And like a coward, I walk away from it all, taking with me a small hope the movie will distract me away from these thoughts. Because like this, it's easy to find something to hate in her. Damn, some animosity going on here. Alright, so dusk has already given way to night when we leave the film fest. There we go. Unfortunately, it does nothing to improve my mood like I am hoping, neither does the muggy air that greets us upon stepping back into the noisy streets. Too busy. Too loud. Too many people taking what little space the sidewalk offers. It forces anyone to bump shoulders with those they barely know, let alone care about. Yes, I hate that too. On a normal evening, I probably wouldn't have mind the crowd nor the humid weather. It's not like any of them are bothering anyone. And yet, even with what's admittedly a pleasant company, I can't bring myself to lighten up. Because you're still salty.
See you guys some other time.
You're still salty and still low-key, like, jealous. See ya.
Yeah, see ya.
Okay, bye. Yep. Not even to return the smiles Ashton and Zachary gives us when we go... Yeah, not even to return the smiles Ashton and Zachary gives us when we go our separate ways. Perhaps this started with Miss Cooper's call, or earlier than that, maybe even the moment I left bed this morning. Bloody hell, it could have been because of that sodding letter, for all I know. I couldn't care less at this point. All I want is to get a warm bath, sleep, and wait for this dreadful day to end. Now, if only Isabella would stop babbling, then maybe this dull throbbing at the side of my head won't turn into a full-blown headache too.
Zach did a pretty good job with his movie, didn't he? Even though Ash said he ran into some trouble late into filming.
Uh-huh.
But I knew he had it in him. It's not like I didn't believe he couldn't do it. I mean, did you see his face after the credits rolled?
She's just babbling just because she's seen some shit and she's heard some shit, so...
All those months he worked on this, and everything's finally...
Okay. You weren't even watching.
Only the first minutes. I watched the rest of it, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, Ashton was the one who wouldn't stop asking questions.
Right. Well, why do we still need to talk about this then? I liked it, Ash liked it, you liked it. Wow, shouldn't you be telling that to Zachary in person? I'm sure he'll appreciate it better than I ever will.
I know that, but maybe there's something you want to say?
Right? Like, Rebecca, you're being really shady and salty right now. It's kind of showing.
Zach had you check the scripts before he went through everything, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
You also worked on it, even if it was only for a short time. So, maybe you want to...
Oh my goodness. She's trying so hard, this poor girl. And then there's just Rebecca, who's just not having any of it. I don't bother waiting for the rest. The moment I spot my car, I immediately make a quick beeline for it. Knowing her, this is merely another attempt at starting a conversation, just so we'll have something to fill the dead air, to replace the strained atmosphere we've somehow walked into. One thing, the very thing, I'm not too keen to deal with at the present. Not too keen to deal with at present. Behind me, Isabella also changes her pace to match mine, her soft strides growing brisk and uneven in order to catch up. A small part of me half expects she'll suddenly trip. She's not the clumsy sort, but there are definitely times when she can be the least coordinated person on the planet.
Becca, hey!
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh, she dropped some shit. What did you drop?
Wait for me!
What did she drop? And people wonder why I worry? They're not really completely unfounded once you've already grown familiar with her habits, though right now, this is also at the very end of the list of things I want to think about. Sometimes it does become overbearing. Even her voice as she calls after me sounds nothing more than background noise to my ears now.
Rebecca, slow down, will you? Your car's not going to leave without us.
Right. My goodness, Rebecca. Jesus. The sooner we get on the road, the earlier we can get home. It's Friday, in case you didn't notice.
I know what day it is, but the traffic's not going to magically disappear, even if we go there right now.
Exactly. It's just, Rebecca, please. I don't want to hear that from you. Didn't you used to complain how horrendous the traffic is back home for you?
Yeah? But that doesn't have anything to do with this, Becca.
Right. Okay, what do you want to do then? Wait it out? Walk? I just want to go home, Isabella. If you want to stay out here longer, I won't stop you, but leave me out of it. I'm not up for any other foolish excursions tonight.
I wasn't thinking about an excursion. I want to go home too. It's already late.
Right.
It's just that you've been in this prickly mood since earlier.
Right.
Are you really okay? Was it the cold? Or did something happen at school? You want to talk about it?
A long pause follows and it holds everything she's been meaning to ask from the very start. I'm in no mood, but all the same, my hand stops short of unlocking my car and my grip on the handle tightens. I can feel her eyes boring on me, waiting, hoping patiently for any answers I'd give. She's the same as Zachary, they're bad liars. But when you talk to people like them, if you're not careful, they often leave you with no other choice but to admit the truth, those exact same ones I can't voice. Despite my lack of response, she pushes on, surprisingly. This time her tone is quieter and more tentative than usual.
Was it because of the letter?
Maybe, a little bit. That's part of it. It's a well-meaning question, much like the rest of this talk, yet something in how she says it hurts me.
If it is, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to cause a scene.
Okay.
I did see something in the mansion, though. I wasn't lying about that.
Okay. Wherever she wants to take this, I no longer want to hear a word of it. Not at this minute, preferably never. Wow, especially when there are already a million other things buzzing and prodding inside my head. Right, wow. Sometimes my patience can only be tried for so long. I'm not in the mood to talk. This cold caught up to me. Damn, Becca! Jesus! She's like really not having any of this. This cold caught up to me. Should I be truthful with her? I mean, I don't want to hurt her feelings, but like, oh god. This cold's caught up to me.
And during the open house?
Okay.
Even if there were a lot of people around, there were weird things happening.
Did I not say that the cold's caught up to me? I mean, I don't know if that did anything for our relationship with Isabella, because it kind of moved a little bit past the line, ish.
I don't know if there was anyone else who noticed, but I heard things.
Okay. Yeah, hello, Rebecca, you also heard things too.
I'm sure it wasn't because I fell down the stairs. Even before that, in the attic,
Isabella.
Yeah?
I pause, though I don't let it last, only to give myself a small window to breathe before I lay down the words between us with as much restraint my patience allows. Which is not much after everything. I can only hope Isabella will simply take them as they are. She can be stubborn as a mule when she wants to be. Yes. This kind of conversation tonight, look, it's been a long day. I think this cold also caught up with me, and I'm really exhausted. Can we talk about this some other time? Yeah, right? She blinks, and although disappointment flashes momentarily in her face, she gives me a curt nod. A relief enough for me, perhaps the first time I genuinely feel it today. As unpleasant as this day has been, seeing something go the way I've anticipated takes the edge out of it. Okay, even if lying through my teeth had to go with it, yeah.
Oh, alright. You should have just said so.
I mean, I don't want to hurt her feelings because Isabella, on our end, we already know what she's saying is the truth, but it's just, of course, in the whole situation of things, like, the characters haven't experienced it yet, so they obviously don't believe her or want to, like, deal with it.
I told you should have taken a full week off.
Okay.
Were you able to get the meds I brought you, though? Do you need anything? I could drop by the pharmacy for you.
Oh, no. No, Rebecca. No, Isabella. Yeah, no need to fuss. A good night's sleep is all I need. I've been busy the whole day, yeah. I guess should have listened to you and taken it easy, but we have exams to prepare for. It's one or the other, you know?
I knew it! Here I thought you were just upset about something.
I was. But I ain't
Even
gonna tell
Ash
you
looked
that.
a little bit worried about you.
Uh-huh. It's fine. Let's just head home, okay? Yeah. I'll make it up to you next time. Call me out to lunch or wherever. Just not right now.
Okay, but should you be driving?
It's not like you can drive, right?
If you want, I can call a taxi for us. You'll hate paying the extra fees, but you'll be able to get some rest on the way home.
No, I'm good. No, don't call a cab. I can manage driving at least, yeah. Just get in the car so we can be on our way. Yes, I'm already opening the door and climbing into the seat before she can protest. Left with no other choice, she follows inside shortly, albeit with a bit of reluctance. The guilt from this will eat at me later, but for now, these little falsehoods are mine to bear and hide under. For now, this is the better choice. Better than pretending she doesn't exist or giving her vague answers. Certainly better than harsh words and outright lashing out at her, right? I can find a little comfort in that. Yeah, I can find a little comfort in that. Alright, thankfully if there's anything left to be spoken between us after, we won't have to discuss it on the way home. Or rather, we can't. Why? Because no sooner than we hit the road, Isabella dozes off. Oh good. Despite my foul mood, I still end up suppressing a laughter once the first sounds of her breathing fill the car.
Mama?
Oh, now she's dreaming. Not your mom, Isabella. Slow and steady, the quiet rhythm so completely unlike her, so far removed from every impression anyone has of her. A few faint whimpers will occasionally come from her, but otherwise it's just us, the silence, and it's so utterly unexpected. Still a welcome break, of course. Peace and quiet is one thing you'll rarely get with her around. Yeah, with her around. Yet it's nowhere near comforting, it merely lends the air, it's the strange clarity, every little sound, every single movement more palpable. and with it comes the unease. A jolt of surprise hits me. It's almost comical if this were a different situation. Oh my gosh. In my haste, I accidentally dislodged my mobile from its seat on the dashboard when I swipe on the screen. Yes, soon I'm scrambling blindly for it with my other hand while keeping a steady eye on the road ahead. Oh girl, careful! Okay. A voice crackles from the loudspeakers before I can put it back. Although muffled heavily by the surface, I recognize the person on the other line from her chipper tone alone.
Hello?
Oh, my goodness. Rose, yeah, Miss Cooper.
Oh, you're still awake. Evening.
Evening. You're not dead yet.
I hope I didn't disturb you or anything. I know it's a bit late. Sorry about that.
No. I'm pretty sure she's calling to check up on Isabella.
I just want to check on you and Isabella. That girl's still not answering her mobile.
Right.
Were you able to meet up with her?
Yes. Yes, she's with me. We're on our way home.
Hello? What was that again? I can't hear you properly.
Oh my god, I thought it was me. I thought it was like my game glitching out, but it's actually part of like the effects. Sorry, let me just fix this dumb phone. Okay, that just escalated. My hand stopped dead for a moment. I spared the device a brief glance, waiting. Seconds pass. Nothing happens though. Frankly, I'm not sure what I'm expecting, but the lines of my mouth forms into a frown regardless. Miss Cooper? Rose?
Yes, still here.
Alright, okay, you worried me for a second there. Did you say something?
Just that I didn't get the last part. What were you saying again?
She's fine, Isabella. Oh no, I thought you... Never mind, must be the signal acting up. Okay. Come again?
What?
Oh god. Is everything alright over there?
Certainly. Is something wrong? What wouldn't?
Oh.
Okay, you seem to be busy. If this is a good time, I can just call you back some,
Okay, not creepy at all. I have to make a conscious effort not to panic right then and there, although my tight hold on the steering wheel tells a different story altogether. Yes, this is very worrying. Miss Cooper? Rose? Hey Rose, are you still there? Only a burst of static answers me and... Okay. Maybe this last is entirely because of exhaustion. It has been a long day, and I haven't fully recovered from last week's bout of flu, contrary to what I've been telling people. Though perhaps, had I paid closer attention to it, had I not been so occupied with other thoughts, I probably would have noticed earlier. Noticed what? That it never came from my phone, but from somewhere right behind me. No! Wow, that's so fucked up. Oh my god, that's fucked up. Time slows to a crawl. Looking up is a mistake. Yeah, no kidding. The first thing I see is its face, a ghastly shade, every inch battered, bruised, and bloodied. Even in the darkness and the world passing by in a blur of lights outside, I can still make out the wounds. Blood oozes from it, little trails of crimson running down its face, glistening under what little light there is. But it is the gleam in its eyes that catches mine. The quiet plea, the anguish, and the desperation in them, more than its hideous features and the awful stench of gore now soaking the air. And try as I might, I can't bring myself to look away. Right. Even as its lips contort into a horrific smile. Hi. Even as a sharp, harsh noise pierces the air and the silence around us.
Rebecca!
Oh god, I nearly crashed, didn't I? Huh? Oh.
Car! Eyes on the road!
Jesus Christ. I knew this would happen. Against everything I've been taught, and I've constantly reminded myself, I close my eyes. Oh god. Did I get into a crash? Are you kidding me? No way. No way. Near fender bender. It's a brief moment. A short, vivid second of muscle memory and instinct completely taking over. Right. And if I didn't allow it, if my hands didn't move, or my feet didn't hit the brakes in that exact second, I might have. Yes, Isabella and I might have. No. I shake the notion away before I lose myself in it. Right now, it's an ugly line of thought I refuse to venture into, not when breathing is a struggle and every ounce of strength has been totally drained from my body. Most definitely not while Isabella's panicked voice beside me still rings in my ears. We're alive. We're safe. Yeah, that's all that matters. But it is not her face that I look for when I finally open my eyes. Oh, all gone. I expected stains, little telling marks, and creases on the covers to show me where it sat not a second ago. But whatever it is, it left not a single trace. And though courage is a hard thing to gather at this point, I take what little of it remains in me and turn towards the back seat. Even then, there's none yet. Of course not. That was a bit of a scare. Or was there really something in there in the first place? With how empty it is, I'm beginning to doubt it. This stupid flu again. Oh my god, girl. I need a long rest after this. My hands fall uselessly up to my sides, numb from how taut my grip on the wheel has gone, yet still trembling from the unexpected rush of adrenaline. Against my ears, my heart still pounds an erratic rhythm, and my breathing hasn't slowed down. But the world has already righted itself without waiting for me, and little by little, seconds after second, as I sit here motionless, color begins to seep back around me. Along with it are the sounds and a voice, no longer the indistinct ringing it was earlier.
Rebecca! Becca! Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
Answer me, will you? You're scaring me.
Oh, sorry.
You know what? I think we should just call a taxi since...
No. Can you keep it down? Strained, harsh, and completely unintentional. But with heat prickling at the back of my eyes and the mild throbbing at my temple, I could honestly do with a little silence for now. Yeah.
Keep it down? We almost crashed, Becca!
I know. I know what happened. It was a lapse. I'm sorry.
A lapse? You call that a lapse?
Right?
Becca, I really don't want to end up a mangled mess on the side of the road. Or a mangled mess anywhere.
I'm sorry.
All I'm asking, if the time ever comes, which I hope isn't right now, is a peaceful death. Give that one to me at least. Not that I'm asking for it, but please.
Okay, I'm sorry. Isabella, Belle, you're overreacting. Yeah. If you're so worried, why don't you drive?
Don't have a license.
Yes, she doesn't. I keep telling you to get one, didn't I, for the past 5 years? Oh my goodness. Do you see why now?
I wasn't really expecting to stay here this long. I thought it'd just be for a year or two.
Yes. All of a sudden, a pensive mood comes over her. Isabella looks away then, while what's left of my little lecture never crosses the tip of my tongue. I don't allow it to. Yeah, because in each of those words she let loose earlier is a small truth. Her stay has always been meant to be something fleeting. Okay, earn some good money, go home. It's what she'd tell herself during her first year here. Now, half a decade later, I'm not sure if she still believes that. Even I'm not sure if I still believe it. And if there's something in her reasons that has changed along the way, even if I already have a hunch, it's one thing I'll never bother to ask. Those are hers to keep. I'll be careful this time, I promise, right? Just please, can we give this whole thing a rest for now? She nods, and that is the end of it. We spend the rest of the trip back to Salinwell in silence. Yeah. All thoughts of an overactive imagination playing tricks on a flu-addled mind, and of smiles never meant for my eyes abandoned, if only for a brief moment. Okay, so let's see what the journal has to say about this. Jesus. Alright, let's see. Where is it? Probably here? Nope, still going. There we go. So after watching Blue Fawn stay, Isabella tried making small talk with Rebecca, but the latter was in a prickly mood and was not interested. On their way home, Rebecca glimpsed something suspicious sitting at the back seat of her car. Yes. An unexpected passenger. Alright. We can make it home without much incident? Yes. Yes. Alright, October 25th, Tuesday. There we go. So, I'm gonna see where I am for time. And I'm gonna see if I should leave it here for an hour, if I should go on a little bit longer. So, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it here for now, you guys. It's a good place to leave it because it's a new day. And so, yeah, wow, damn. Okay, so now that we are in Rebecca's point of view, we actually get to see the effects that this curse is taking in on her, but in terms of what she's been seeing and the stuff that she's been experiencing with the ghost. Because as of like so far with all the rest of the characters, we haven't really heard much from Rebecca, kind of like with Marianne, where like they're pushed way off to the side and we have no idea what's going on their end until at this moment now. So damn, okay, so Rebecca, for as of so far, she still believes it's just cold, it's just the flu. She's letting on to how low-key jealous she was with Ashton and Isabella, but we already kind of had a feeling, we already kind of figured most of that out from that small hint that she gave away when we were in Isabella's point of view. And yeah, wow, nearly crashed our car because of this ghost lady. But yeah, I like that phone call scene where it's like, you know, I thought, yeah, for like Rebecca thought, I thought it was coming through the phone, and it was just like the ghost doing the, you know, the spooky phone shit like it always does with the Grudge shit. But no, it was like coming from the back seat of our car, like right behind us. And I was like, oh shit, that was good. That was really good. Damn, that was really fucked up though, but damn, still good. Nice. Anyway, so we're just getting started in on Rebecca's point of view. Of course, you know for sure shit's gonna escalate just like how it did with Marianne's point of view. So I just, you know, can't wait to see how it is that will end off on Rebecca's point of view. And yeah, so we'll continue on in the next episode, you guys. But until then, bye!
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock